Porsche's always hanging in. Usually they're bugging Ferrari year after year after year. This is definitely a switch to me. I'm liking it in a way. I sort of hate to raise the banner there, right? You know, the first American cars I've seen since Cunningham. And that's a long, long time ago down in Sebring.
For this last stage of the race, the crowd has thronged back. But how many of them know or care about the problems of the drivers out there on the circuit?
I don't care who's in the lead, I just want to race.
I know Mary Poppins got them. Everybody's got them. I saw one in the front row.
Look at that girl over there, those tight trousers.
As the two big Fords come round our nage wheel to wheel, the question now is which Ford will win? Chris Amon.
I handed over to Bruce, I think it was about 3 o'clock. The race had one more hour to run. The Ford officials had a very difficult job on their hands to decide what should happen. They didn't want to make a decision to give it to one car or one pair of drivers or the other pair. So it was decided to make it a dead heat. But they didn't make this generally known. They briefed Ken Miles and Bruce McLaren before they took over for that last hour. They were told it was to be a dead heat, but they didn't bother to tell anybody else, or they didn't want to tell anybody else.
And so they finish. As 4 o'clock comes up, the cars come round. The Porsches, the Alpine, the surviving Ferraris, the Marcos, and then the 3 leading Fords. The crowd cheers, the champagne bottles pop, and then the final drama. Here it is as the crowds and the teams themselves first heard it.
This is another motor bulletin, and this is a very interesting one, and I hope that you will understand what I say. Whether the Ford Motor Company intended this to be the result or not, I don't know. But what happened was, 2 cars crossed the line side by side. If you look at the rules of the race, it is laid down that if there is a dead heat across the finishing line, the car that started farthest back on the starting line must have covered the greatest distance. 2 cars crossed the line together. Number 2 was farther back on the starting line than number 1, so number 2 has covered the greatest distance. So number 2 becomes the winner. This is a remarkable result, and I congratulate the French, and I think this is the most splendidly thought out set of rules for any race in the world. And I think we're all lucky to be here to see such a race.